Hello and welcome in this 7th episode. In this series we are following me building a SaaS application from scratch, and I want to launch this application at the end of January. And today I made some progress in the client side with some click events, and I want to show you what I did so far. So let's dive in. So in this application we are following or track clients that are visiting our website, and that's an external website. So in this case we have a test site that we host on a Cloudways, and we implemented a script tag which is connecting with our application, and there's a domain ID, and this ID is corresponding this one, and we are retrieving a token, and with that token we do API calls back and forth, and that way we can track people visiting the website, and it could be on any CMS. That doesn't really matter. So we know when people come in from another website. So I have this website. I made a test URL. Let's go there first, and then we click here, and already you see no page load detected. That's the console log. Now a session is created, and it says came from Giju. And this is the parameter it came from, and it could be like a Google advertisement parameter, and also the browser and IP address, etc. So, and here on the home page of this test website I added some buttons to test out stuff. And let's see, what I did yesterday is the ability that we now can click any element, and it recognizes the element, and I will show you what this does. It creates a click event, and it says this is the event ID. So if we go to tracking, manage click events, you don't see the ID yet. Let's print that because that's a bit annoying. Click event detail. ID. And also maybe you want to show that already in the list. It's always handy to, for now, later we really figure out how we want to render everything, but for now at least we have something to look at. Yeah, so we have a unique ID here, and if we go here, so here we were, this one is the ID, so this is the event that we clicked on, and if we inspect this one, you see that I did test, an attribute, test is dfef, and that's exactly the click event we created, the key and the value. And then the type is attribute, so that's recognized. We could give it a description if you want. And if clicked, we get a trigger action, and it says check test, send an email. So let's see, did we receive an email? And yes, this is the email. So that all works. And the cool thing here is that the user is more like an SDK we are creating. This will also be you can also call these events via API later. So this could be the ID in an API call, and then you can just trigger an event. So this is kind of the whole idea I worked around. That's how this tool got created. So it's nice to see it more like visually in action right now. And also we haven't clicked one here, and that's the counter. So we have in the backend, I think it's click event triggers probably. It's always looking where is what. Trigger events maybe. I check test, so we have a max calls is 2 or 1, and we can also say unlimited. And those two we can use, which means that if we have 1, and I would click it again now, it will not be registered another time. It actually does on a different key, so let's test it again. This is also a bug, by the way. It should register both events at once if there are two events on an element. But you see it doesn't register a second time because clicked stays 1. But if we say clicked is 2, max calls is 2, and we would click it again, probably should be, no. This should now be called a second time, but it doesn't work. So that's something to dive into later. I will write it down. But that's the idea, that you have like a max calls or unlimited calls or just once, and then you can add that to any element on your page. And what did I do? How did I work with this? Is in the front end tracker. I showed you yesterday the JavaScript file, and I created. So here we create a click event. So we just check if the element has any parents. This is needed when we have like nested elements within a menu. Otherwise, it will block the whole website. That's just a bug I found once, and this seems to work, so that's cool. Then we check if an element with an href was clicked. If so, then we do the process href click event, and else we do the process non-href, which would be attribute. Maybe that's better naming. Click event. So then we say href, and then we say attribute. So, and we retrieve all the click events from the backend. So the click events that we store here, tracking, the navigation is a bit off still, but those click events we retrieve, and we know when it's a parameter or an attribute, and then we match. So if we have a match, then we do the action. And I'm quite happy with this setup. This is quite clear to me what this is heading to. And let me see. Also, I refactored the code a little bit on the backend. Every click event, let's go by check for the checker, and we have a for example, we have all the logic on the checkers. We have many checkers: element exists, page is live, content changes, etc. So we go to the check element exists. Then this is the functionality to check if an element on a page exists, and then we say execute trigger action. I don't think it should be executed here, by the way, but here. So then we say if the trigger is an email, send an email, check trigger email, otherwise add checker to a list. And that's all refactored now. So you have to, in trigger we have a folder actions, to email, to list. This is quite simple. To list is a little bit more complicated because we have all the columns, but this is all nicely working right now. And in all cases we have a trigger event webhook. And to show that one, because I showed yesterday the webhook. And let me see if I can print this through a salary task. And I'm aware that my head is in front of this. So let's see. I don't see the webhook. Oh, the webhook should be here. 1 second. Yeah. So here the webhook is called in our little Flask application, and we made a little event trigger event.executed, event ID message. Go check this. In Dutch, event type is an email, and event source is a check. So that's the information we now give back to the user, and you can imagine what they can do with this. It's an SDK, software development kit, so that's something they can go creative on. And also I have this idea, because when there's a click event happening, let me see, where am I? Here. We say callback content, and there's one new event I was thinking of, but I don't think I will add that in the first version. But callback content, and I guess it's very cool when I click some element. You already see it here, this one, that we kind of render this element in the body of the DOM, and then we could create like pop-ups or user feedback. And this is quite a common thing, I guess, but this is an idea I want to add as an extra event. That also is there, the idea is there, so I just leave it for now, and at one point we clean it all up, of course. Let me see what I want to show you as well. I worked a little bit on a landing page, but that's more like the copy of it. So yeah, we work in WordPress, we split left and right, and it's more like, what do we have, what are we offering? And we capture, we analyze, we act, and the smart monitoring as SDK. I was looking, do I need capital or not? I think it's all like this. That's the way I like it better, I guess. And I never know is it analyze or analyze. This is, I think, English. Yeah, but that's details. UK English and US English, that's the difference, I guess. Yeah, so something like this, and then client insight and site analysis with adaptive triggers supported by robust API. And the thing is, we are privacy centric. We work not with cookies, but we work with parameters. You can add cookies, but that's a different story. But you can track people, not people, like just session IDs, and you get some information back, but it's privacy centric. Scheduled URL monitoring, that's a feature. That's clearly a market as well that already exists. And our UPS, I think, is USP, unique selling point, not UPS. That's a shipment company. But our unique selling point is that we have interactive trigger events, and I think what's also very cool is that it has a comprehensive REST API and developer-friendly toolkit. So that's, I think, our unique proposition here. As unique as it is, and yeah, this photo is from WordPress itself. We will work on that later, but that's what I already got out there. And what I also did, I want to show you. I just go chronologically. We have a little settings page where we can copy and paste our API key, and this is not good, by the way. Okay, so I need to hide that value somewhere. But we have a copy and a paste button, and we can update this one. So that also works. And what I also did is a little bit of SEO research. And you have to notice, I do this on the side. I have a job during the day, and this is all in the evenings and the time that I'm allowed to work on this, because I'm, of course, working on my job. So that's why there's a little bit of progress every day, but if I keep going, I will be done in the end of January. So yeah, that's it for me today. I hope you liked watching this progress, and if you have any feedback or you have some thoughts about the tool or questions, please let me know. I'm very curious about your ideas or to hear from you. So yeah, that's it for now, and see you in the next episode tomorrow. Bye bye.